Hello YouTube, and welcome to another Mr. Home Scientist science video. Today I'm going to be synthesizing ammonium chloride from household ammonia and muriatic acid, also known as ammonium hydroxide and hydrochloric acid. These are both chemicals that are very easily obtained at hardware stores. So the interesting thing about this reaction is that they actually can react in the gas phase, and that's how ammonium chloride is made industrially. So here, when I have the ammonia is in a flask on the right and the acid is on the beaker on the left. And when I bring them close to each other, a white smoke of ammonium chloride microcrystals will crystallize in the air. So when I take the stopper out of this, it'll release the gases that have built up. And when I bring these two together, you can see that they immediately produce this white smoke of ammonium chloride crystals. And this will be easier to see when you combine them directly. It's a very, very thick smoke that's quite a bit heavier than air. And while this may look slightly dangerous to be around, it's actually not that bad, because ammonium chloride is a fairly benign substance, and that's all that's in this smoke. Except for, of course, stray fumes of hydrochloric acid and ammonia, which aren't too pleasant, but it's not too bad to be around. If you want to be incredibly safe, it's probably best to be doing this outside. This is also a very exothermic reaction, so when I combine these, a lot of heat is generated, so that's why I'm pouring them together at a fairly slow rate. It sort of looks like when you put dry ice in water, how it makes that sort of fog that you see at Halloween parties and whatnot. So this beaker is quite warm, just from holding it. And you can see the smoke is so thick you can almost pour it out like water. If I wanted maximum yield of these crystals, I'd be capturing the smoke and trying to condense it. But I think it's fairly interesting just to watch anyways. And you get a decent yield from combining the liquids together directly anyways. The next step is to take the solution and boil it to crystallize out the ammonium chloride crystals a little bit faster. This is best done outside, which is what I'm doing here, because whichever reagent you had that was in excess, either the hydrochloric acid or the ammonia, will still be present in solution. And as you boil it, those fumes will be released, and those are generally not very good to breathe. So we're going to boil this down a little bit and should precipitate out some nice crystals. After boiling the solution down about 3/4 of the way, I'm down to about 25 milliliters of liquid, and you can see a lot of the crystals have precipitated out of solution. So now all I need to do is filter off the rest of the liquid and dry out my crystals. So there's not too much left, so the filter paper shouldn't really catch too much. But now all I'm going to do is let the rest of this evaporate to dry out the crystals in the beaker, and I'll actually spread them out on a paper plate to speed that up. And I'll also allow the rest of the liquid to evaporate as well to try and get as much of the ammonium chloride out as I possibly can. You can see that the crystals are not quite white. There's a slight discoloration, which you may not be able to see on this light, but it's not brilliant white like it should be, and that's due to impurities in either the hydrochloric acid or the ammonia solution that I used. But otherwise, it actually looks pretty pure. So here's my finished product of ammonium chloride. They actually turned out quite nicely, very bright white, so that would indicate a pretty high purity. So I guess most of the coloration that we saw earlier was left behind when I filtered the solution away. So there you have it. Thanks for watching.